Yeah. Long day, long week, long life. Guess what? It gets greater later. Let that wolf a little bit. Alright, we got to go on that 21-day detox. Alright, we got this right here. This is about $100 recovery support. Morning, afternoon. It's got some good stuff in it. This is good for detox, withdrawal, kratom, 7-hydroxy, opioids, quick kit. This is some of the stuff it got in it. Morning, 3 capsules. Afternoon, 3 capsules. Night, 3 capsules. As you see on the night regimen, it got the gamba and the melatonin and the magnesium. Magnesium definitely is good for support. See, my little issue is I've been taking this kratom supplement. Being that it said that it was all natural, but they have an alkaloid in kratom. It's called 7-OH. They sell it in like a lot of smoke shops. This shit hit probably 10 times harder than the perk. But, I used that to get off of other harder stuff, a while back. But now it's time to remove off of that. But tomorrow is the day everything goes cold turkey. So I just bought this as a support mechanism, because none of it's easy. But this is basically, your serotonin and dopamine receptors to bring them back to tone. First 72 hours be like the most crucialist. So, we got that. So each 3 of these, regiments for each part of the day. So I added my own in. This right here is called L-methylfolate 5-MTHF. Has B12 in it, but this is probably the strongest thing that can reset the dopamine receptors and serotonin receptors in the body. You put this under your tongue in the morning. I normally will take it without, eating. Take that, and then we got the Ormus Collidial Gold, 4K gold oil. This got what is the main ingredients in here? Oh, right here, tell you. Dead sea salts, monatomic minerals, dead sea salts, monk fruit, coconut oil. Coconut oil acts as a alkaline as well, so that's very good for you, with bringing electrolytes in the body. And, I also just got the alkaline booster drops. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of lemon water with this. The key is to stay consistent with this the whole 21 days. At nighttime, what I'm gonna mix with the night regimen, I'm also gonna take potassium in the morning. I have real potassium pills straight from the doctor. But, at nighttime, in the morning we eat. We call it breakfast, but it's actually when you break fast. So at night, I feel as though that to take the parasite cleanse is best at night, because that's when, you're fasting the most, because you're not eating, because you're laying down. You're in stillness. The stiller you get, the closer you get to God. So we got that. And this is another one. It's called Methylene Blue. This acts as a, what we call that? What do you call that? A neurotropic. But this also, a little drop of this in some water at night. It also take the edge off, help you sleep. This will really have you pissing out blue, and this is good to hit your system. Take a little bit in the morning, like a higher dose in the morning with some water. But I would take that like in the midday, in the afternoon, because you don't want to mix all of this stuff. So we're going to let this whole line right here work its magic in the morning time. Then, we're going to hit this in the afternoon with the afternoon regimen. And also at night But at night, I'm going to add in natural, just magnesium on top of that. Magnesium is great. Potassium is great. You know, get your legs up and bumping in the morning. So we got 14 milligram nicotine patches. Instead of a whole one, I'm going to take a half of one. I'm going to do that for 3 days. Then I'm going to just go to the nicotine gum. In the process of that, we got the licorice chew sticks that, you know, they'll help aid in the bed. You know, this is how you got to reprogram yourself. And also, you got the Gamba. The Gamba, this is great for ignite. You mix this with melatonin, you're going to fall asleep with no problem. But this also works on the central nervous system and the neurological parts of the brain, you know. So the key, all of these supplements, you know, you got the alkaline for the blood, vitality, monatomic gold that's going to deal with your vitality, and it's also going to bind, you know, those toxic metals in your body, you know, to flush them out. The 5-MTHFL methylate, you know, that's going to help take the edge off and, you know, with a lot of stuff as well. This kit right here, these are just the backup. So for stimulants, we're going to use just the ginseng 6 treasure tea or the mushroom coffee, you know. And, you know, just for backup, I got a couple little caffeine energy drink packs if that don't do what it's supposed to do. 21 days. The most, like I said, the most crucial part is the first 72 hours. So in the process of all of that, we're going to definitely be doing a lot of spiritual cleanses and rituals. So, you know, we're definitely going to be hitting that, you know, going into the days of the week, dealing with the elementals, you know, prayers, spells, affirmations, whatever you want to call them, they all the same. Different protections, uses of moon phases, you know. This is how you Bluetooth yourself with Mother Nature. You know, you become one. You synchronize with the elements or the ethers. You know, just like a phone or a device to Wi-Fi that connects to the World Wide Web, the same thing you have to do with nature. So the same token, you're working on your body, you have to work on your mind and your spirit. The mind part is going to be more so reading the books and taking my brain off of things that's less relevant. So I plan to delete the Facebook app for those 21 days. I'm not going to deactivate because I got a large following base on there, and that's going to be my promotion source going forward in the future. But Facebook has a lot of distractions and other things on there. So that you just got to get out the way. I don't want to be entertained. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to know what nobody else got going on. But I am going to keep Messenger open just for direct messengers with people, because I look at that as just a line of communication. Not to be in nobody's business, no drama, know what's going on with all the goofy shit. I don't want no parts in that, because that sidetracks. A lot of us, we spend more time just scrolling on our phone, looking at our minds going to this place, that place, so we can't focus on one thing. So the key is to get back focused. So that's working the mind aspect of it, as well as just reading up on stuff instead of focusing on reels or topics of toxicity and a bunch of bullshit. You know, this is the game plan. I'm just laying it out, you know. It's easier said than done, but, you know, what they say, the 5 P's, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So back to the ritual aspect of it, you know, we're going to use divine codes, we're going to use affirmations, prayers, you know. In order for certain things to work in your favor, you got to sacrifice something, you know. These are just lessons I wrote out to do YouTube videos and TikToks, you know, because the timeline that we're in. So I have to align with the timeline, you know. But right here, manifestation prayers, reverse a hex, you know, I'll be doing that daily. So You know, a lot of people that be trying to bring unwanted and bad energy to me or bind themselves to me, even if they try and do it in a good way without consent, guess what? Shit's gonna fall back on you tenfold, because that's just how it works, you know. So if I was you, I wouldn't even indulge or even play with stuff like that, because the return to sender spells is very popular and they work wonders, you know. But a lot of stuff, none of these things really work unless you align yourself. You have to have some type of law structure, even if you follow the biblical law, just the simple 10 commandments. But it's over 600 and something plus laws in the Torah, you know, law, statutes, and commandments. You know how you deal with municipalities? Well, biblically, we call it principalities. Municipalities deals with code, statutes, and ordinance. Principalities in the structure of the universe, you're dealing with laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, municipality, you're dealing with codes, statutes, and ordinances. You see how it all goes hand in hand. You know, abracadabra I created as I speak. This is something that I wrote and create myself as a healing using all the 4 elements. It says abracadabra, I invoke the healing spirit chi. So let me start over. Abracadabra, I invoke the healing spirits and energies that bring relief. I channel Ashe, Prana, and Chi. I command the cause that brings disease to pause and dissolve its effects on me. If I'm doing it for somebody else, I will say for thee. I banish by fire, evaporate by air, wash away by water, and by earth deter. Avada Kedavra, its hold on me. Or if it's for somebody else, I say on thee. I have spoken it, so mo it be. You end it with Ashe, or this is how you would truly say Amin, Amin Ta. You know, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph, Meme, mediator, Jacob's ladder, the connection, divine connection, you know, Da'um, Tat, Sat, you know, which connects the physical realm, the terrestrial realm with the extraterrestrial realm. Da is the end. I am the first, I am the last, the Alpha, the Omega is the top. Or you could say Salah. This was said in a lot of the end of the Psalms, you know, or under King David and Solomon, because, you know, David, he made songs, rhymes, rhythms, poetry, spells, basically. So a lot of things you will find in the Psalms would be the same equivalent. All the spellers is words, sound, vibrational frequencies with meaning and intention behind it. That's where you get a prayer. And at the end of each prayer, you say Ashe, Amin, or Amin Ta, or you say Salah. So be it. Return to sender spells, you know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, color codes, you know, different candles, different days of the week, which will go back to, you know, the days of the week when you're dealing with Pacific angels and color codes. You know, you see each day, sun, gold, color, gold, yellow, citron, Venus, metal, copper, color green, Mercury, metal, mixture, color, mixed colors. So that's the whole plan. So we're going into a 21-dayer. So be prepared. You know, if y'all want to do your own little thing, it's time. This is what you call a reset, a reprogramming, just like you would do a computer. You reboot a computer, you know, you run the software through, cleanse it of all its foul toxicities and, you know, different things that's causing it to move slower. So just to amplify the mind, body, and spirit, you know, you have to use intention, which would be prayer, spells, affirmations, along with rituals, herbs, color codes, days. That's when you're using the elements, when you use the color codes, fires, water, if you use water. Each one of those 4 elements, that's why you see them connected to a different zodiac, have a different power and vibrational frequency. So what you implement them in with intentional, you know, prayers, spells, and affirmations, because it's speaking it into existence through sound vibration and also using the element. This is how you Bluetooth yourself with Mother Nature, as I was saying. Now, then you work on the physical side. See, now that side's the spiritual side. This would be the physical side. You got the mind. You got you got the body. You got the spirit, and then the mind is basically just the discipline. You know, separating yourself from the things that no longer serve you or have any great purpose or significance to you. So it's a sacrifice. In order for those rituals, spells, affirmations, and prayers to work and go through, I have to let go of something. You always have to lose something to gain something, whether it be in business, whether it be in whatever. Everybody think that they can just keep holding on to things because certain things that you're holding on to is the things that are blocking you from getting to the next level or getting ahead. So that's the thing. Let go. You could be let go of smoking. You could be let go of drinking. You could be let go of... If you notice, that's why, just Islamically speaking, you will have Ramadan fast. That's the time to let go. That's why you're doing Pacific prayers, du'as, See, each culture, they have it set in a different way. You have the time of Passover, biblically speaking, people are fasting and do it for 7 days. Some people do it for 3 days, And a lot of times it don't have to really do with food, It can be physical things. And that's where people get it confused at, But you always got to have a game plan. And like I say, 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Here's another aspect. The things that you can do spiritual cleanses with, like lemon, will deal with purification, protection, and health. See, you can rub the lemon on your body. You see how in churches they'll use the olive oil. Olive oil is full of natural antioxidants, which is the strongest and richest of them all. But everybody in each zodiac and astrological influence, they have a specific fruit in the animal that's tied to them. That animal is a spiritual animal. Then you have these fruits. You can put them under your bed. You can just be eating them daily. You can use them as cleansing. You drink them, but it's like you pray. You set that intention over what you want it to do for you. But these are the things. If you have your intention set on love and health and longevity, get the apple, banana, fertility and strength. This how it works. And it's to be these little simple things, just like look at the walls of Jericho. They went around the walls of Jericho. Y'all ever seen the story of 300 Spartacus when it was a small group of soldiers that went up against 1,000? It's kind of like the Israelite story. A lot of people don't know. I believe that's where it came from. When, they went in with the small army. A lot of time through all their battles, they always had a smaller multitude of people. But when they went in there, they had this veil, a hedge of protection over them because what they did. So like the walls of Jericho, going around the walls of Jericho 7 times. 7 times is a ritual in a circular formation. Then blowing the trumpet or the ram's horn, the sound vibrational frequency to make the walls come down. Because what that did was trigger the elemental forces to work in their favor, People don't know, if you got an ant or a bug right here, right? You draw a circle around it. Guess what? It's not going to leave out that circle because that is considered a spiritual barrier, even though it can just walk through. But in their mind, they're going to stay contained within that. Some people call that magic, but all that is magneticism. Magneticism is a form of metaphysics, and it's what you draw yourself to, or attached to, because the alchemy behind it. Alchemy, what you would call an alchemical process. The alchemical process is how things work, like the anatomy of the body. That's what the Kabbalah talks about when you get on that side of the esoteric. See, a lot of people just go with the physical aspects of the Bible. They can't never fully comprehend that. I'm sorry, but you have to know both sides, the esoteric and the exoteric. Esoteric is inner essence, the inward, where the eternal God resides, and the exoteric is the external, the physical, where the eternal is projected. You know, that's where you get that I am, created in the image of God. You know, you are a piece of God, the Most High reflection, but you have to be tuned into that frequency, that radio station, so that broadcast can go out. You get what I'm saying? So, enough with the preaching. This is something I've been premeditating on for a while now. You know, I finally got more of my ducks in order. This right here is another supplement. It's supposed to help with overall vitality, but this stuff is so strong and powerful. Just for this 10 grams, this costs $100 and something alone. I'm not pretty sure how I'm going to use this completely yet, but I got some ideas for that. We also got some other products. Hold on. There's a lot of products and supplements, but I'm going to gradually implement them all and put them into effect in some way, form, or fashion. You know, got the books here, got the different candle works there. Yeah. I don't want to be stuck stagnant doing the same thing forever. I want to renew myself, replenish myself, rejuvenate myself. I want to become new again. You know, I want to defy the odds. I want to be different. I don't want to be the same. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be in the same loop forever. So I have to reset myself, you know. A lot of stuff that comes with it, like right here. This right here, that's that rural potassium that's going to be taken in the morning with this other regimen. We got laid the blueprint out. This is a time where I ain't running in the streets, nothing. I don't care what nobody else got going on. We're going to take this body magic, this chlorophyll, we're going to implement this into the night regimen. You know, look at the numbers here, 3, 6, and 9. It always starts in threes. So we have line 1, 2, and 3. This right here is a neutral. This is something I created myself. It has wild lettuce, white willow, which works as a natural, you know, aspirin, devil's claw. These are all pain different. Valerian for the nervous system, 50% alcohol, 50% glycerin, which they soaked all the time. And, you know, I made an attraction, put them through a herbal press, cheesecloth, and just like these ones that are still sitting, you know. So this was all created in the making just for a time like this, you know. Yes, I ran wild, I did this, and that. I've done this over and over and over for years, but this is the new reset. You know, it's always a great reset over and over and over and over and over and over again throughout time, you know. But we're going to do a great cleansing and wish me luck, pray for me. You know, Salah, so be it. I'm out. Deuces.